Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the Listen Up Podcast. I'm your boy Brandon.
It's your boy Sam.
Yo, man, today's episode, we're going to finally break down this schedule, man. We've had a chance to sit back and digest it and kind of get a little glimpse on what everybody else got and then what we bringing in as well. And then, of course, Florida State just got what they believe is the quarterback of the future. We're going to talk about it a little bit as well, man. Sam, you ready?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, man. Let's do it. So, you know, the 2021 schedule, 2021-22 schedule came out, and we looked at it, and I know I have my opinions on it. I know you got your opinions on it, but I kind of wanted to, actually take it and break it down, one by one, because as we looked at this schedule, I think maybe me and you have well, I ain't gonna say I don't know what your opinions are, but I can tell you that the fans' perspective is a bit funny. You know what I mean? I posted it on Facebook on a few different places, and the responses I got was 8 or 9 wins. I got a lot of 9 and 10 wins. So we'll give you our thoughts, man. But so what you got, man? So I guess give me an overview first of all of the schedule. Do you believe the ACC was sticking it to us as they normally have, or what they kind of fell? What you think?
I think at the end of the day, we already kind of basically knew what the schedule was going to be. I don't think that, first of all, we're a bad football team. So any schedule we get right now is going to be like they screwing us. You know what I'm saying? When you're a bad football team, anybody on the schedules, I'm looking at the schedule. Oh, let me make sure. I want to pull this up. I want to make sure I had this correct. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Give me 1 second. This is like crazy. It's a hard schedule because we're a bad team. That's my first thoughts. And then my second thoughts was Notre Dame to start the year off. I don't think you're going to win that game, right? That's a scary proposition. I like what a bye week said. I like what a bye week.
No, we'll go through it. We're gonna go through it one by one because I really want to go through it.
No,
I just want to know, like, the ACC. Like, so when it first came out, the first thing I saw was, man, ACC did it to us again.
What did they do?
I'm just telling you what we all on the same timeline. We follow a lot of the same people. I saw was the ACC has done it to us again, and I was trying to figure out what did the ACC do, because maybe I missed it. I thought maybe it was something I wasn't watching, and so maybe they snuck it in. They snuck in Alabama or something, and I missed it.
I'm saying, like, what stretch of games did everybody want? Like, did you want it to be Jacksonville State first, UMass second, Syracuse third?
Yeah, get you off a good rolling start. Yeah.
But then you gonna still got to play Wake Forest, Louisville, Clemson, NC State, Miami, Boston College, Florida. Like, no matter how you cut and slice that schedule up, it doesn't matter. Like, I think having UMass before Clemson is a good thing.
Right.
You need a bye week. They give you 2 weeks, a bye week, then UMass to be ready for Clemson. So whatever you rep for Clemson, you can put it live in the game against UMass, and they give you an opportunity to put that out. Notre Dame, you probably not gonna win, but if I want to get ready for Wake Forest, that's a winnable game. Playing Jacksonville State before Wake Forest, in my opinion, is a good deal.
No, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. So I didn't see anything when I looked at the schedule and said, "Damn, man, why they keep doing us wrong?" I mean, there's no way that they can fix anything. You know what I mean? There's no way they were going to maneuver these games and figure out a way to, like, make it. Here's the other thing. They're not trying to make it, like, they're not making it easy on Florida State because Florida State ain't relevant right now. You know what I mean? Like, when you get back to being great, then they'll try to start catering things to you, because then it helps you win. But it helps them look good.
But still, though, even if you're a good team, you think Alabama give a damn who on their schedule?
Or what order they got to play them in.
What order they got to play them in? You get enrolled. Only time Nick Saban complained was he was like, every team that's good, y'all gave them a bye week before they play us. That was the only year he said anything about schedule.
And that was a legit. That's
a legit. Like to be a reason to be upset.
They was
like,
doing their best to get that season. Everybody who played them had a bye week before they played them, and they still knocked their heads off.
Yeah, but I mean that was the 1 year.
That's a good team. Yeah,
they're a good team. So I mean, I don't think Clemson give a damn what they place. What you put Florida State on the schedule at right now.
They giving you 100 regardless. We can put them at the beginning. We can play them first game. We can play them last game. They giving us 100. Just mark that, bookmark that.
And then like I'm looking at maybe I want the Boston College game in a warmer area of the schedule. But I mean, even then, does it matter? I don't think we're gonna beat Boston College.
Nope. No, I mean, okay, so no, let's dive into it because I agree with. So we both agree. The ACC, I don't believe had any I didn't look at and said the ACC did anything wrong or made us, be some sort of, put us in behind some sort of 8 ball. Like they really could have done us dirty. I mean, shit, we're not very good right now, so we were gonna lose regardless. It's just kind of regardless of where you was gonna put Clemson, we were gonna lose it. Same thing in my opinion for Boston College. But all right, so Notre Dame. We open up the season, Notre Dame. Ian Book's gone, but I mean, I can't look at that and say Florida State roster-wise is better just because they've lost Ian Book. Maybe, I mean, what do you feel?
I mean, Notre Dame has recruited really well on offensive line. Notre Dame is going to be sound again defensively. I mean, they're going to be able to run. Adam Fuller's our defensive coordinator. So I'm just going to assume that 30 to 40 points is what we're going to give up, and we're probably not going to reach 30 or 40 points when we play against Notre Dame. I think it could be a closer game this year.
Okay.
I mean, it's the first game. I can see a closer game. I can see us losing by 7 to 8 points. I can see, I would put that line at 6.5 points if I was Vegas.
Okay, so then, all right. So then let me ask you this then. If we go out there, I mean, again, it's Florida State, so more victories is out the window, in my opinion. But if they go out there and lose by 7 or 8 points, you think fan base is looking like, man, I told you we back? Like, you don't think how you think the fan base is gonna look at it and say, all right, man, that like I told you, we one step away, we one piece away.
I mean, the people that's clamoring like right now about all these recruits and these mediocre transfers are going to keep clamoring for when we lose by 5 or 6 points. I mean, that's just what this is right now. I mean, yeah.
No, okay. No. I'm with you on it. I look at it and I say 7 to 8 points. And right now it's Lion season. Let's start there. So it's definitely Lion season right now. But if we start from that point, I think they go out there and lose by 7 to 8 points to Notre Dame. I think them Lions really start to get off. See, we more competitive now. And next, they look at us, they go back and redo this schedule after the game. And now next thing that's our only loss. I'm just, I want people to.
If you're gonna beat Notre Dame, right? If you're gonna beat Notre Dame, this would be that. Correct. This would be where you want to play them at to beat Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? Correct.
First game of the season, new quarterback. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Problem is, our defensive coordinator is still our defensive coordinator, and outside of a couple positions, I don't see market improvement on defense from a talent perspective like other people do. So, in my opinion, it is what it is. And I'm gonna dive into I guess the transfers, the recruits that we've gotten. But anyway, all right. So Jacksonville State, I don't think we got to dive into that one. That's a win. Unless you got anything different, you think Jacksonville State don't improve that much?
I want to go back to this question right here. He said Notre Dame lost 4 starting O-linemen, best wide receiver, quarterback, and both starting edge rushers and linebackers. In my opinion, we have a great shot at beating Notre Dame. I agree that we got a better shot at beating them. I agree that we got a better shot at beating Notre Dame in the first game. So I think that, but the problem comes in with this. Notre Dame has stacked their talent there. So when we play these guys, they're not going to be playing true freshmen. These guys are going to be juniors. It might be their first time playing, but they're going to be juniors. You know what I'm saying? They've gotten to a point now where their true freshmen don't come in and play. We're going to go into this game hoping that true freshmen come in and make significant impact for us. They're not going to come into this game trying to do that. And I think that's the bigger deal. So I think we got a better chance of beating Notre Dame the first game. That's why I said I would make that line a -6. That means that's damn near a toss-up. You know what I'm saying? That's damn near a toss-up game. I just don't think we're going to beat Notre Dame because Notre Dame has been in that system longer. They got a better book on who FSU is. I think FSU confused them a little bit when they played Jordan Travis. Remember, that was the first game on Jordan Travis. They didn't have a real book on Jordan Travis at that time.
Yep.
Okay, so you have to bake all those things into the equation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they got a better book on you. You won't have a book on their players because you haven't seen a lot of their players play yet. So you got to bake that into it too.
I think what you're talking about is a program versus a team, right? So
Right.
FSU right now is trying to rebuild their program.
Right.
Notre Dame has their program built. Like, in other words, they're going to reload and recycle like that position. They're not going, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're losing some old linemen. Great. But they don't really, it's not going to be a drop off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to go from, all right, here's these guys who had no experience, had no idea how to play. And now, you know what I mean? Now they're getting thrown into the game. These guys, I'm sure, have had a lot of playing time. These guys, I'm sure, have been training ready. They're going to step up. And one thing Notre Dame has never had, the same way Boston College has never had, is a bad offensive line.
Yeah,
they don't have them.
And then you have to look at it like this right here. Notre Dame had Quentin Nelson, which is a top 5. Well, he's like a top 3, top 2 guard in the NFL that went pro. Right. The offensive line didn't get worse when he left.
Not even better.
They got better. So I mean, we have to kind of. I'm just saying, like, some program with Notre Dame was at a point where 10 wins is now their floor. That's their floor. You know what I'm saying? So we have to kind of like bake this in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, he's saying Notre Dame has a new defensive coordinator. That's true, but that new defensive coordinator from Cincinnati is pretty damn good. I would say that he's better than what we got currently.
I mean, based on what we've seen from our defensive coordinator, again, part of our speculation is going to be what we've added, also what the other teams have added, and where we've tried to make improvements. Right. And here's the thing: we've added a lot of players, but we've also talked on previous podcasts how many of those players are actually starters. How many of those players are actually difference makers? And outside of the quarterback, and outside of our quarterback and our defensive end, and I think Big Game said the running back. How many of I haven't seen very many that are just standout difference makers.
But there is a lot of unknowns about FSU's team, and I think that's what people need to. This isn't Madden. We're not going to walk into a situation everybody's 100% simulated. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, is McKenzie Milton legitimately ready to play day one? We don't know that yet. Is Chuba's shoulder completely healed?
Setbacks.
Right. Is his shoulder completely healed? Is he ready to go? We don't know that yet. You know what I'm saying? Dent had a pretty serious ankle injury. How much better is Dent this year coming up? We got the offensive lineman. I mean, we got some guys that got really banged up and had some really significant injuries, and we got to start. I mean, I'm not saying they're not, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of questions we got that Notre Dame guys have not played a lot of football, but they're also not as banged up and had an injury history that our guys have.
Not to mention that, I mean, just based on last season, they're not walking into a situation where they're going to be poorly coached. Right. I mean, even with that new defensive coordinator, they're still falling into a system and a program that
they play good defense there.
Right. So it's going to be, in my opinion, I just think, yeah, it might be closer, but I can't give us we're better than Notre Dame. I can't see that.
Right.
Yeah, I can't see us being better than Notre Dame and after what we saw last season.
Right.
Jacksonville State, we should beat Jacksonville State. I'd hope we beat them comfortably. Mm-hmm. Other thing, like when you talking about some of the unknowns, we have no idea what Jordan Travis' role is going to be in this team, because I imagine they're not going to just throw Jordan Travis back to the bench. I look at kind of what they do, how the Saints use Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see him coming in, being able to, kind of run the ball, wildcat, wide receiver. I think you can utilize Jordan Travis. That's assuming he don't win the job, because again, we don't know how McKenzie Milton is going to be. Like, we don't know how healthy he's going to be. So at that point, I think we look at it and we can say, all right, well, let's see what happens. All right, so we got them 1-1 at this point, right? Jacksonville State, Notre Dame lost. Mm-hmm. Wake Forest at Wake Forest.
See, to me, it'd be better to play Wake Forest later in the season than it'd be to play Wake Forest early in the season, right? Because I expect that Wake Forest to be pretty healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know Wake Forest schedule, but if I know Wake Forest, like I think I know Wake Forest, they probably got a bunch of cupcakes early. So, which I ain't got no problem with that. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a bad football team. You schedule winnable games. You schedule a bunch of winnable games. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna beat Wake Forest, but I think that's a toss-up game. I think that's a 50-50 game.
So same thing with Wake Forest. Not much difference in Wake Forest, right? So we were favored to lose to Wake Forest this season, and I think nobody was picking us to win it.
And
Like,
that wasn't. And that wasn't going to be a close game either.
And that's what I was going to say. And it wasn't going to be close.
The fact that Norvell got that game canceled, he did the right thing because that wasn't going to be pretty. And that just wasn't going to be pretty. That's all I'm going to say. Because they were putting up 40 points on down to everybody. They were scoring touchdowns. And they was going.
And that's what. And so, again, I think when we go through this, a lot of this is really going to depend on, man, how much improved do we believe our defense is going to be? Because if Wake Forest, gets in a good rhythm early, if they rolling up 40 points, it's hard for me to believe that Florida State's offense has gotten to that place where we're not giving 40 points again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When we beating teams, we putting up more than 40 points.
Right.
We outscoring guys. And again, even though we talk about all the things that other people lost, we lost some pieces too on defense. You know what I mean? We've lost some players who competed in the Senior Bowl, and we haven't replaced those guys with guys who are better outside of, again, defensive end. Now, again, if the defensive end from Georgia is a difference maker, absolutely, he can make it. Having a good rush defensive end, man, is a huge difference. I think scheme plays a lot into it, but that's a whole nother story. What I'll say is this: it's hard for me to say, all right, Florida State, who everybody had picked Wake Forest to beat them, and most people thought it wasn't going to be close. It's difficult for me to say now. Next year, we've made that big of an improvement off season, and Wake Forest has gotten that much worse off season to where I'm going to pick Florida State to win it. I'll give it a let's give it 50-50 toss up, but let's say Florida State pulls up the upset.
Okay, that's fine. We can say FSU pulls the upset against. I mean, you coming off of Jacksonville State, so you got time to prep and be ready for Wake. So yeah, you know what? You're right. Let's move that to the W column. Let's move it.
All right. So we got that's 2-1. That's 2-1.
No, that's 1-1. That's
no. We got 1. Yeah.
No, it's
2-1. Yeah, it's 2-1.
I'm sorry.
All right,
I really deep down in my heart don't believe they're gonna beat Wake.
I don't believe it either, but listen, man,
I don't.
If the schedule I wrote up earlier, I just couldn't come on the podcast and say it when I wrote it down.
All right.
Even my daddy would mad at me what I told.
That's being negative. That's being negative.
So let's go Louisville, man. Louisville again was another blowout loss.
So this is what I'm gonna say about Louisville.
And Louisville is got a good coach, recruited well, improved team.
This is where the fans is gonna feel like we on our way back. Satterfield has set himself up where nobody fucking likes him anymore, right? Because he tried to run out on the program at the end of last season, right? Mm-hmm. And he was doing the right thing. He was trying to get out of while the iron was hot. That's what I expect another coach to do that we might all know. But they're gonna beat Louisville, and that's gonna be the game that make everybody feel like, okay, we turned the corner. They're gonna beat Louisville.
3-1.
And then they're gonna turn back around and they're gonna beat Syracuse.
Yep. So it's funny, right? I believe you. So the Syracuse one, I 100%. They beating Syracuse. Syracuse is bad. Mm-hmm. Syracuse is bad and poorly coached. I don't believe Syracuse is Syracuse is a win. That's a guaranteed win. I put that in the same column with Jacksonville State. The Louisville game, I just think kind of got out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Tutu Atwell gone. So you ain't got to worry about no, 4-1 wide receivers, Dusty in secondary. And I think they learned a lot from that Louisville game. I think the Louisville game just kind of got out of hand real quick. And, it went bad. It went left quick. So I agree with you. So I think they beat Louisville. I think they beat Syracuse. But if we get to North Carolina, coming off what happened last year.
Yeah, you will get that work. That
You
work
going
will
yeah, in my
you gonna get
opinion,
that
I
work.
think the North Carolina game is gonna get ugly and get ugly real quick. If there are fans back in the stadium by October, then it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be angry, and it's gonna be their first real, road test. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's gonna be their first real road test. If Florida State is 4-1, it's gonna be a night game.
Mm-hmm.
Game day may be there. Like, you know what I mean? You're talking about a lot of different elements that, like Florida State hadn't been put in this position in a very long time, in my opinion. If they are 4-1 and, they may not be ranked yet, but they might, pushing 25 or something like that. Matter of fact, they may give them 25 just to, you know what I mean, just to sell the game. You know what I mean? And they go to North Carolina, and I can see that one getting out of hand pretty ugly to kind of humble them a little bit. So I can't pick Florida State to beat North Carolina, because I think if they had a few more minutes left on the clock in the last years, they would have, North Carolina was gonna come back and win that one. So I got it as a loss. Same.
Yeah. I mean, that won't be close. That might be a woodshed beating. So that won't be
Okay.
close.
Okay. So we got them at 4-2. Still positive. UMass fighting Walt Bells get beat. That's a five. That's 5-2. The Walt Bell does definitely get beat. And then we get into this last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games of the season, and I think this is where I worry about Florida State and where things go. So at Clemson, I'm gonna just we can. Well, let me ask you this, because I don't want to just skip over Clemson.
What
We
what
both
the,
said Clemson gonna hang 100.
no, let's do this right here. What does a win, not a win, but like what is considered a win during the Clemson game? What is considered a win?
52-35.
I go 45-34.
45-34. Yeah. Yeah. I think if you can keep it within 3 scores of Clemson, no matter what it is, I don't care if it's 70 to 50 something. You know what I mean? Like, if you can keep it within 3 scores of Clemson, regardless of the score, that's a win. I'm gonna chalk it up, and I'm gonna be happy about it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, again, they bringing in a new quarterback. The dude look like he ain't too bad. So but he's still a freshman. You know what I mean? They got some. Apparently, they whole defense coming back, even though they were first round and second round picks. But they decided, they much rather take the McDonald's bags with the cash in it, as opposed to going on taking NFL checks. So at this point, man, I look at Clemson. I say I think defensively they're still gonna be tough, but who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe like you said, 45-34 is, man. Y'all go party in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At Clemson, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all run down the little hill. Y'all run down the hill and then tap the rock. If y'all go, you know what I mean? 45-34. You know what I mean? We celebrate as if it's a win, for real, for real.
Yeah.
But no, in my opinion, like I said, I think 52, 35, somewhere around there. They can roll up 5, 6 touchdowns, couple field goals, some sustained drives, and they're able to limit, force a couple turnovers. I'm gonna take it as a win. I don't think there's any way possible they beat Clemson. So no, but I agree with that. That's a 5-3. So we got them at 5-3 going into NC State. NC State, what you got?
That's a loss. They're gonna have
Yeah,
they're gonna have a better quarterback. They're
yep.
gonna have a better quarterback, and they'll be humming by that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have it as a loss too. We lost to Baylor Hockman last year.
Yeah.
Baylor Hockman. I don't know if y'all know who Baylor Hockman. Baylor Hockman's not very good. Quarterback will be back. They were well coached. They outcoached Mike Norvell in that game. Schematically, it was bad. Then you're coming off a Clemson loss where it's gonna hit you a little bit, especially if, again, 30. We talked about what it looked like would be a win. My realistic thing is really gonna be like 70 to 10 or something like that. I really think it's gonna get stupid ugly. Just because I believe Dabo wants to send a message, because he's really pissed off about the fact that Florida State didn't play this last game and they had to come all the way down, even though it's his fault. Again, crazy people do crazy things. So in my opinion, I think Dabo's gonna try to send a message. So reason why we said that's what a win would look like is because I don't believe it's gonna even be that close. I think it's a 70, 60 something point win by Clemson. So coming off that type of win by Clemson, a loss by Florida State, and then you got NC State the following week. Not to mention you're probably gonna have a couple injuries because it might get, it's just a lot. You know what I mean? I just think it's a lot. So I got them losing to NC State as well, which is now, they're now 5-4. Miami.
That's a loss. Miami's gonna be better on defense next year.
Mm-hmm.
I expect for them to be on par with what they was last year on offense. Only difference is we won't get blowed out the door. It won't be like it won't be over before the first quarter's over. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll go into the third quarter in that game. You know what I'm saying? But we will get beat against Miami.
Same. Unfortunately, I agree with that. I don't think we've caught up to Miami yet, which is a sad place to be. But I don't think we caught up. De'Aaron King coming back for another year. That's tough. Gonna be real tough to stop. These are defensive improvements. They still got their coordinators. I'm not looking at the Miami game and saying we have a chance to win it. And Florida State's real good at letting things snowball. So I got it at 5-5 right now going into Boston College.
Okay.
So now we 5-5. We've now lost, we 4-1. We've now lost 3 straight? Yeah, we've now lost Clemson, NC State, Miami, heading into Boston College at Boston College on November 20th. If I look at the historical weather reports, it's probably going to be 13 degrees. It might be some snow on the ground, but it'll probably be the coldest game that anybody at Florida State has played in.
Mm-hmm.
Against a team who loves to hit you in the mouth, run downhill. They got second best line we'll probably face all season behind Notre Dame. I'm not feeling very good about that one.
Yeah, you're gonna play against a guy with an NFL pedigree for game planning. Their coach at Boston College.
Yep.
He got that program without a spring, without a summer. He had that team playing pretty damn good football last year. You know what I'm saying? So they are ahead of schedule. Unfortunately, it's gonna make everybody mad because Lars Woodby played for them. so that's gonna make people a little upset, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna get beat by Boston College. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's one of those games that it's gonna be ugly. I think that's gonna be an ugly game.
We've seen Florida State quit in Boston a few times in the past. You know what I mean? And Jimbo Fisher was like, "Yo, did our team quit?" And he was like, "Nah, they ain't quit. How dare we do that?" But we saw a lot of that cold hurt different, man.
That cold
ever play football in that cold, man? It hit different. And if things go bad early, it's gonna go bad. And them boys used to that up there, man. Them hits start hurting a little more, in that cold than they do in the good sunshine state. So I don't know. I don't feel very good about the Boston College game. So I got it at 5-6. Headed into the Florida game, which Florida's better. I mean, here's what I will say.
Stop.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why you need to stop. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Dan Mullen's gonna finally play the offense that he likes to play, and that's gonna be a lot of quarterback power.
Mm-hmm.
Running back power, because he's gonna have Bowman, he's gonna have that guy Pierce. He got 3 good backs, and he's gonna be that dude Anthony Richardson, who I think Richardson is actually better than Emory Jones. So it's either gonna be Richardson or Emory Jones.
Give it to Jones. Jones stuck it out. He got no choice but to give it to what's the name?
All right, I'm just throwing this out there because when you look at Anthony Richardson, bro. That's like
I think Richardson's better. I agree with you.
He looked like Cam Newton, bro.
I'm looking at Dan and I'm saying he don't pass over Emory so many times, and he stuck it out when I thought he was gonna hit the portal. Unless Richardson really does like a James Winston in the spring game to where there ain't no options, I honestly believe that.
Why would he? I'm gonna ask you a question though. Why would Dan Mullen even play Anthony Richardson in that bowl game? Why would he even put him at quarterback?
He got to see what he want to see what he got, man.
Why?
You gotta know what it looked like in the game, man.
Why? If you're not planning on playing here, why you doing it?
Man, I don't know, man. I didn't even think he was gonna be here a week ago. I don't know. Listen, I'm under the impression that I think Emory playing.
If Emory, but my point is, if Emory's your guy, and that game you was playing all these backup guys that have been practicing with Emory the whole time, why are you playing Anthony Richardson?
Because Emory ain't no good, which is why I was gonna say. If Emory starts, I don't believe Florida has the year. I don't believe Florida has the year that they think they have, because I don't believe that Emory is very good at quarterback.
I don't think Richardson. I don't
think Richardson's that great either.
No,
he's better than Emory.
I think Emory is a good quarterback. I do. I think Richardson, for what they want to do, for what Dan Mullen wants to do, especially talking about playing against Bama, Georgia, where you need to control those defenses.
True.
But what Richardson can do in that run game is gonna be, because he can play physical too.
Here's the problem though. They gotta throw it at some point, and neither one of them dudes' arms is strong.
Bro,
are very accurate.
Bro, did you? Okay, I ain't gonna.
I know, and Dan, we try. I know it. I believe Dan is great at it. I agree with you. That man got what's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys quarterback? He don't got him paid. I get it. Dak Prescott. I know what he can do with a physical quarterback. I've seen it. They were ranked number 1 in the nation at Mississippi State. I've seen it. I just don't think either one of these guys are very good. Like, I think Richardson is better. I just don't think either one of them can throw the football. I think when you play against good SEC teams, you can absolutely stack the box. And hopefully Mike Norvell can say, all right, let's dare this dude to beat us. You ain't going to run it. Throw the ball to beat us, and we'll see what happens. So that's just my opinion. I'm not picking Florida State to win it. I've said all that to say I'm not picking Florida State to win it, but I also don't think Florida's going to be very good.
That game, Boston College, then Florida, like,
it's tough.
Those three, like Miami, Boston College, Florida, those three back to back. If this team is still standing and still got fight in it, I would consider that a successful end of the season, because that's a lot of thump that you finna play against. And if you ain't ready to bring it, it's gonna be some ugly games where you're gonna question what the hell's going on with the program.
So we both got them at 5-7, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you got some toss-ups in there, because I mean, technically you could win the Wake Forest game. We got them for the win for the Wake, right? We got them for the win.
I mean, 5-7. Let's say 6-7. Let's give them the Wake Forest game 6-6, right?
All
right. I said I was celebrating the streets if they went 6-6. After looking at that schedule, what would be they would have to beat somebody else. You know what I mean? They would have to either beat North Carolina on the road or something like that to get the 6 wins in order for me to say
they will have to find a way.
There's an improvement.
So you have to look at this right here. They will have to look at winnable game. Notre Dame.
You think Notre Dame's winnable? Okay.
I'm saying like a game that I can see you could sneak up on somebody and win like you did last year with North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
You know, just a game where you punch above your weight class for a quarter and a half and you get up by 30 points like you did against
beat Miami. That's what I'm gonna say.
You won't do that.
You go 6-6 and you beat Miami. I'm gonna give the season success.
You know the problem with Miami about us beating Miami? Styles makes fights, and because Mike Norvell and Fuller don't have everything they need, that style of that game dictates that Miami win that game big. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just where they at in their process. Like, I think if Mike Norvell was on campus before Manny Diaz, it's a lot closer game. But because Manny Diaz already has, like, those wide receivers at Miami was terrible last year, but now they're gonna be back again this year, and they're gonna be better at running back. You know what I'm saying? They better at running back.
And the defense will be much improved.
They defense will be better. They bringing in like some really good safeties, some decent linebackers they bringing in this year. So they're gonna be better on defense. They got better coaching on defense. I mean,
I'm not picking them to win it.
But I'm saying that the style of that game is going to be up tempo, right? Because Norvell's going to know that if Rhett Lashley's over there, I got to score points. So he's going to feed into that up tempo-ness, which is going to create turnovers, which is going to mean Miami's going to beat us like a drum. It's just no way around it. Like Rhett Lashley has always eaten up Adam full of shit. Like he always has pushed Adam full of shit in. Like so he's gonna push it in again. Like that's just what this is. Like I mean, go check it. Like check where he was at SMU. They pushed his shit in. I mean, I mean that's what happened. And sometimes offensive coordinators have defensive coordinators number. Yeah, and sometimes that's just how it is. So like. I remember thinking to myself, Chad Morris had Mark Stoops' number.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had his number. Like whatever Mark Stoops was trying to do, Chad Morris has her for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But Jimbo was like, I got you, my man. It's like I got like Jimbo had like Brett Venable's number for a minute.
Right. For a good little minute. He was hanging 50, 60 points on Venable.
I mean, he could, I mean, not even just hang points on him, but even with bad football teams, Jimbo would move the football against Brett Venables. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes guys just got guys' number. And unfortunately, we got the guy that a lot of people got his number, but this guy in particular, Rhett Lashley, really got his number. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's just what it is. It's just what it is.
So, I 100% agree with you, man. I'm picking on the lose, but I'm just telling you what a win would look like. I mean, what a successful season. For me to look at it with a different way, I think it's a win over one of the rivals, either Florida or Miami or Clemson, which ain't gonna happen. But I'm just saying, you win one of those 3 games, man, and you get the 6 wins. I lie with everybody else. I'll be on the line with everybody else at that point.
Right.
Who knows? We'll see though. You know
what I mean? Right.
It's one of those things we'll have to see. I do love what's happening on what's on Twitter, man. Sam posted what does a victory look like? And I think everybody's like, a win is a win. There ain't no more victories. Florida State, this and the third. No. And I agree with you. We just talking again for podcast purposes. We trying to figure out what a win would look like.
You know, it's crazy though, because people say that, but
they'll be celebrating.
It's people in this fan base that if we lost 45-30, they'll be like, shit. So see what happened next year.
Yeah, right, exactly right. I know it's one of those things that sound real good until it actually starts happening. Yeah, until you actually get in there.
They be like, such and such was hurt.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be all man. If that fumble, if that dude didn't fumble, we was headed in for an end zone, man. That game would have been tied up, man. Who knows what happened if the game get tied up? You know, and the press would have been on them. No, it's all
referees is the fault. I mean, I'm just saying,
a close game would be a whole lot of more victory in around here. Even though I see what's happening on Twitter right now.
I mean, people got their corners; they're going to get in them, and that's fine.
Well, and it's also Lions season, so everybody feel good about Florida State, which leads me to my next thing. Florida State just landed. How you pronounce the man's last name? Nico Cole. I think he said it was Mark Cole.
Nico Machado.
No, that ain't it. I'm sure that ain't it. No, man. I think he put it. He said how he pronounced it on the. I think it's Nico Marco, but no, man. Listen, so they got a 2022 quarterback. You always need a quarterback in this class in your recruiting classes, and they got one. Landed a 4-star again out of Arizona. Mike Norvell clearly has a tie to something going on in Arizona, and yeah, I mean, it's the fan base feels good about it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to rain on nobody's parade at all. But I'm more of let's wait and see what he does next season, right? Let me see what he does his senior season, because I'm one of those people who I don't know, look at the numbers, look at what you've done last year,
right?
And so when I looked at it and I saw he played in 8 games, some games were canceled due to COVID, but he went 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's a bit James Blackman, DeAndre Francois-esque. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't blown away by his numbers. And so, okay, maybe he had no receivers. Maybe all his receivers was out with COVID. Maybe he ain't had no spring. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying I looked at the numbers and I wasn't wildly impressed by it. So instead of me saying, all right, this is a bust, I figured, you know what? Let me see what he does senior season.
Right.
Let me see. So basically I'm giving an incomplete to reserve and to wait until next season and see what happens in senior year. And he balls out senior year, hey man, by all means, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on board. But right now, I'm not wildly impressed by him. I think as a fan base, we've kind of developed this what do you call it, the pick me's, you know what I mean, like we just be so happy to be chosen, you know what I mean. So I think what's happened with Florida State is, we become like the ugly chick at the party. So as soon as somebody like show her any attention, she's just wildly flattered by it. Like I feel like we become that, you know what I mean, because I look at it and I say, okay, we got some guys, we've added some recruits, we've added some pieces, but all of these pieces aren't home runs. But if you let the fan base tell it, and you let certain people on Twitter tell it, man, we have gotten every player we ever wanted in the portal. We've gotten every player that we wanted in this upcoming class. We right now the number 5 recruiting class, which again, man, Bama ain't even started recruiting yet. I mean,
Right.
they've been recruiting or whatever. You know what I mean? And they gonna get their pick of the litter. I mean, we gonna get Marvin Jones Jr. It's a lot of things that is happening right now. And I think as a fan base, man, we kind of got to get out of that, ugly girl at the party situation, man. Let's start looking at these players for who and what they are. If they starters, they good football players, man. And I'm gonna tell you again, I was on here championing Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? That's a great pickup, huge bell cow of your class, even more than the quarterback in my opinion. I'm gonna tell you that's a dope pickup. I love everything he brings. That's a dog, and I appreciate it. But I looked at this kid and I'm saying, okay, we got a guy. I just can't really, dive in and buy into him being just, the future of Florida State when we've seen the last guy who he brought in really didn't light it up this year and didn't look prepared at all well to play, also from Arizona. And, I look at this kid and those numbers, man, are not impressive at all.
Mm. I mean, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I'm not. I believe you should bring in a quarterback at all times. You should bring in a true freshman quarterback every year. You should bring one in. If this is the only quarterback we're bringing in, that's a problem. But if we bring in a second quarterback, then I think I'm okay with the take.
Yep.
In my opinion, O-line, like offensive tackles and quarterbacks, if you're gonna take flyers on them and take guys, take them. You know what I'm saying? You're not at a place right now, I think, where you could be selective when it comes to offensive tackles and quarterbacks. I just think you need to kind of, if
Nobody's at it.
if you think they can play at the ACC level, you should take them. You know what I'm saying? You should take them. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I agree. Again, please don't get it misconstrued. I'm not trying to say, they shouldn't have taken him. I mean, like you said, bring in a quarterback, bring in another one. Somebody else want to come, cool. But I'm just not overly hype about it like everybody else is. I want to be. This one wasn't the one that did it for me. It's just not. Like I said, I looked at those numbers beforehand. I even looked at the clips they were showing with him throwing in the backyard or whatever it was on that field, and I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I I know quarterback coaches. I also know ball placement.
Mhm.
Okay, some of them was great. Some of them was real bad throws that got it to the target because the defense really wasn't playing defense. And I
Right.
was like, I looked at a lot of these. I was like, "Man, that's not a really good throw. That's a dangerous throw. That gets picked off in the ACC.
Right.
That may work in Arizona. That don't work in the South. Them dudes faster than that. Like they all like I didn't see very much defense played. It was designed to make him look good.
Mhm.
So again, I saw the clip that everybody was, showing around. I was like, okay, okay,
Okay. All right.
okay.
Well, hey
So
man.
my opinion is I'm gonna leave it at all right. Let's hope this senior season he throw for 40 touchdown, breaks every record in Arizona, and I'm completely wrong. I love man, I would love to be wrong. I would love for this dude to ball out next season, and I come in here and tell y'all, that,
Yeah,
like,
but you have to take a quarterback. You have to have a true freshman quarterback because quarterbacks leave. They leave.
absolutely.
They're not staying. So if you can find you a Sean McGuire, find a Sean McGuire. You know what I'm saying? But just try to find try to find an EJ, man. We need to find an EJ and a Christian Ponder. That's what we need. We need an EJ and a Christian Ponder right now. We need that
I,
shit in the worst way.
Kill for EJ Christian Ponder.
That's what we need.
They in the championship, but they'll get you to the AC. They will win football games. They're gonna be consistent. They know how to read defenses. They're smart football players. If this kid is Christian Ponder, EJ Manuel, Chris Ricks, all day.
All right,
man. You got anything else, man?
Nah, man. I appreciate all the birthday wishes, man. You guys was great. I don't think much of myself, but when people shout me out a bunch of birthday wishes, I was humbled. So thank you. I appreciate that.
No, man, it was your birthday, man. Like I said, I appreciate you. Just personally, man. I don't know. It's funny. We met on Twitter. You know what I mean? Just literally just, having random conversations about damn near everything for the most part. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like Steph Curry at one point, you know what I mean? We had a conversation, I think, about Steph and the way he's viewed and my takes on it. And then we kind of go back and forth. Then we kind of talk about Florida State. And then one of was like, man, I think I'm gonna start a podcast. And I was like, man, well, I've done this before. I was like, I kind of wanted to do it with a co-host. And then, it started from there, man. So, but you've been there, like a lot of people who've been, in my life, man. You started to see a lot of changes. You started to see a lot of different things, man. And one thing I can say, man, is you completely real with it, man. And I appreciate it, man. Happy birthday, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. You guys are great. The podcast is awesome. Takes up a lot of my time. I'm actually working on where I can spend more time doing most stuff with the podcast, man. But I appreciate all the support. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, B. You know what I mean? So until the next episode, we'll be talking about that one commitment we about to get. Just one. So that podcast can be like 5 minutes long. I'll be looking for
Florida State to find some way to give us something to talk about.
I'll be looking for no super hot take recruiting breakdown off the one player that we finna get. All right. So don't be coming all of my DMs. When you drop an episode, like literally, I might just send a text message to all 500 y'all that listen to us. I'm just send a mass text message out.
Just send a big one. Yo, what is happening on the timeline with your tweet, man? This is craziness. All right.
I got this thing popping.
Put to spend the rest of the night arguing with folks, man. Anyway, man. Like my watch is just binging, like bing. I'm like, God, what's happening right now?
I added up the wins and the losses, like just looking at it, and I'm like, damn. We gotta beat BC and NC State and some combination of BC, NC State, and Louisville. So I'm like, if we go 5 and 6, we good with that.
No, they ain't good with that. That's the funny thing about it. No, well, and this, I might say for the next one. I believe somebody came out and said 6 and 6 was not good enough in Florida State, if I'm not mistaken.
That was my boy. That's my boy Coburn who burnt this shit to the ground. Him and Thrasher. Hey, if I ever see Thrasher and Coburn on site.
On site?
I'm doing that for everybody, bro. I'm doing that for the whole coach.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. We have to just take that L. We have to just take that L, man. We're gonna because security, I'm sure gonna be ain't gonna be too far behind, but we're gonna take that L, man. Tallahassee Police Department, we'll spend a night. We'll spend a night and take that charge. But no, man, let's get us out, man. Let's get out of here, man. Listen, we appreciate y'all as always, man. Rate, review, subscribe. We out.
Yo.